And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym of the Crypto, episode 749. Today is Monday, June 28th, and I'm King.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
Today's top stories: Binance to cease operations in Ontario following regulatory crackdown. UK financial watchdog orders Binance to halt regulated activity in the country. SEC accuses XRP Army of issuing false statements against its leadership on social media. Maru reveals official NFTs will be available on VB Marketplace by 2022. French court sentences BTCE operator Alexander Vinnik to 5 years. And billionaire Selena says he's working for his bank to be the first in Mexico to take Bitcoin. But first and foremost, let's take a look at the prices.
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices for today, Bitcoin is sitting at $34,254, up 3.5%. Ethereum at $2,006 is up 9%. Binance Coin at $286 is up 3.3%. Cardano coming in at 131 is up 3.8%. Dogecoin at 25 cents is up 4%. XRP at 62 cents, up 3.3% today. Polkadot coming in at number 9 at 1487 is up 4%. And last but not least, to round out the top 10 is Uniswap at 1705, up 6.4%. So a lot of upward movement. Some people waiting for 20K, but we may have seen the bottom for some people because we're starting to see short selling articles from banks. So maybe a good time to jump in as far as some of the altcoins that have been losing traction. And again, don't get scared out of the market. It's still early.
What's going on, goodness? Notes from Jew, DM Carr, Lift Hunt Game, Junior Mally, Rashu. Good morning, everyone. As the notification look like it's just now starting to hit and people are coming to the chat room. Good morning. Top story today, continuing to talk about Binance. Started bringing this up a few weeks ago. I said something was going on with them. I am not going crazy. Something's definitely going on with Binance. You can see here, Binance to cease operations in Ontario following regulatory crackdown. Ontario's crypto exchange crackdown continues as Binance plans to end operations there December 31st, 2021. It looks like as part of our continuing efforts, compliance efforts, Binance has said they updated their terms of use to provide that Ontario has become a restricted jurisdiction effective 21 of this year, 6/26, so over the weekend on Friday. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I guess on April 19th, the Canadian regulators introduced new perspectives and registration requirements for cryptocurrency exchanges. Essentially, all these countries are saying that, hey, we want registered exchanges. They're claiming exchanges like Binance are unregistered. They're also talking about cryptocurrency exchange Bybit flowing the law. I actually just reviewed Bybit for the masterclass. I touted that as right now the top exchange out there for those who don't know, but I think Bybit right now is one of the top exchanges out there. So I can see them getting cracked down, but this is happening to Binance in Canada, then hopping over the pond to the UK. Looks like we're seeing the same thing. The cryptocurrency exchange has until Wednesday to comply with a new notice from the Financial Conduct Authority. It looks like Binance Markets Limited is not permitted to undertake any regulated activity in the UK. The FCA sent an announcement. Also adding on to this, they quoted most firms advertising and selling investments in crypto assets are not authorized by the FCA. This means that if you invest in certain crypto assets, you would not have access to the Financial Ombudsman Service or the Financial Services Compensation Scheme if things go wrong. Essentially, by using Binance, one of the world's largest unregistered exchanges, as they like to keep pointing out, I think they're trying to use that to make people start to go toward these really centralized, regulated exchanges as those it seems. But I'm not sure what's going on in Binance. Like I said, it seems to be suffering from every angle on this one.
Oh, man. Yeah. And it's also funny that Binance CEO CZ actually came out and said if Japanese and Canadian Binance users are worried about service ending in their countries, they can rest easier knowing that trading for some Americans persisted for months on the main Binance site, even after requests to migrate to Binance US, because he says Americans find intelligent ways to circumvent the geofence, aka VPNs, or using other people's accounts. So you may or may not get shut out today, but I did see a lot of people shut out of their Binance accounts over the past month or so. So as we said, we knew something was going on. So I don't know what's going on in Canada exactly, but they seem like they want to be the regulatory crackdown to start, and it'll go on in other countries as well. We've talked about Japan too, having the FSA for crypto exchanges. So looks like they're trying to make everything centralized, like you just said. This is the fight,
Going
people.
on. Hondo's 1017. Yes, appreciate it. Paid for the talk shop live yesterday, but there wasn't anything for me to view. We did not have a show yesterday. We're either going to be refunding those later today, or we're going to roll that over for the show next week. But stay tuned for that. But appreciate that support. All right. SEC is in the news. SEC accuses. All right. This story, people, made my teeth white this morning. I mean, this had me so excited. I was very happy to see this story. SEC accuses XRP Army of issuing false statements against his leadership on social media. Finally, XRP Army, you did something right. I love it. And I also love that this just goes to show why the SEC and regulators aren't equipped to even handle this digital environment, because they don't even know what to do to the XRP Army. Like, we faced off against these folks time and time again. We faced off with them back in 2017. We faced off with them in 2018. And we just, of course, you all know, faced off with one of the leaders here a few weeks ago. And of course, Matt came on the channel. But seriously, like, we've had the discussions with XRP bots or actual people behind these avatars. We know how fierce they can be, not just the XRP Army. There's so many different communities and for different projects. But the SEC is not ready to handle it. They're throwing in the towel already. They're screaming no mas, and they're running to the nanny state of the government for help. That is right. The commission argued that Ripple's motion, if granted, will open the floodgates for the company to request testimony from high-ranking government officials. Good. You work for us. There we go. Money. We can summon you to talk whenever we want to. What don't they get about that? I'm not understanding why this is so hard for the government to get, that they're working off of our taxpayer monies. That's right. If we want you to talk, you need to say how much and for how long. You don't need to be saying, well, we need to have this injunction against it. No, it looks like this ongoing lawsuit between Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, continues with the regulatory body claiming that the XRP token holders are targeting its members on social media platforms with allegedly false statements. Allegedly. I like how even the SEC has to say allegedly. Maybe false, maybe not. Okay, so essentially what's going on is that XRP Army, they're coming at the SEC saying, hey, these people are in the wrong also. These people aren't good. They're breaking the law too when it comes to Ripple, and we need to call them out. So it looks like in a Thursday motion addressed to Judge Sarah Netburn in the Southern District of New York, the SEC has requested a conference to discuss quashing the motion from Ripple to subpoena the former director of the regulatory body's Division of Corporate Finance, William Hinman. The SEC argued that Ripple's motion, if granted, would set a precedent for the company to be allowed, quote, a parade of requests for the testimony of high-ranking government officials and interfere with U.S. government operations. They're saying that allowing the Ripple defendants to dispose Director Hinman will likely result in Director Hinman being served with multiple deposition subpoenas by the many other persons alleged to have violated the registration provisions of the security laws during his tenure at the SEC, said the motion. Such a result would not only create significant burdens for the Director Hinman, but would make other qualified individuals reluctant to serve in high-ranking roles at the SEC for fear of being embroiled in litigation for years following their terms of service. Wait, what do you mean, SEC? You think it's okay to get companies and people embroiled in years of litigation, but you don't want to do it yourself, and that's what you do? I mean, hey, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? Bang, bang. The SEC is saying we don't want to be subpoenaed. We don't want to talk on the stand because it's going to make other people that come behind us not want to do the same thing. Again, I remind you all, they are working off taxpayer money. It is a public position. They should be allowed to be subpoenaed while they're in the position, or I say up to a decade to 2 decades after they leave the position. Like, yes, if you do something in this powerful position that affects companies and the monetary environment and the actual financial ecosystem, then yeah, you're going to be held accountable for years after you leave. Like, you're just not going to skate off into the sunset and nobody going to say nothing to you. So I'm glad XRP Army is coming after them. And I'll actually say this. I think with this being done, Ripple has that much more of a chance to actually win this case because now that they're fighting back, if it's one thing bullies don't like, no matter what type of bully, whether it's a government regulator, whether it's a bully with a gun or a badge, no matter what a bully is, bullies hate it when people fight back. So I think Ripple might actually win this because if it's one thing the SEC doesn't want is a big company with a lot of money. And we actually had people come on our show, Reggie Middleton, Richard Hart even talk about their legal team saying that, hey, XRP does have a legal team with them. So The SEC doesn't want anybody to hit them back, and it looks like Ripple isn't scared, and they stood in the, I would say the ring, but these days is the octagon, the cage, and they're ready for a fight.
Yeah, and the best part about this, in my opinion, is that the XRP Army, they have actually come on social media. You know the XRP bots, they're all over the place. They've actually said that SEC leadership includes that members of the commission are working to make China's economy greater than that of the United States, with requests for former chairperson Jay Clayton and Hinman to be investigated, and an occasional comparison of one or more members to lizard people. This may seem crazy to people, but you have to understand this type of crazy or this type of thinking is what changes stuff. Because if Jay Clayton has to testify, if Hinman has to testify, and somehow we figure out that what they're doing is actually helping China and not America, the old China Joe joke was definitely going to come back. And so I love that the XRP Army is actually pushing back as they should. We don't want to see anybody go to jail in this industry, but I love that was on social media. And again, they're opening up Pandora's box, because if all of these people, even past people, have to come back and testify, we may get some things revealed, which I'm sure they do not want, which is why the pushback. So shout out to them. They finally did get something right. And it seems as though this SEC fight might go on for a while.
And yes, Crypto Mafia, I actually give you this, Crypto Mafia, and this happens, I actually will thank them. Crypto Mafia said, y'all can thank XRP for future regulatory clarity, XRP 200 by the end of 2022. Listen, now, like, that might be the truest comment on this channel. Again, I still think XRP will be displaced by CBDCs. Not saying there won't be any market. I still think they're going to be displaced, and it won't be worth the project in the end. However, until those CBDCs actually come out, I am with you. As long as XRP is fighting back against the regulatory powers that be. Like I said, bullies don't like to get bullied back. Bullies don't like to be hit, people. So if XRP and Ripple keeps hitting the SEC back, I think they're going to lay off them. They're going to lay up. They're going to be like, hey, give us $30 million. We'll call it a deal. XRP going to come back and be like, we got 22.5 for you. They're going to say, hey, we'll take it. And that's going to be the end. They'll get relisted on exchanges, and then it will go up. I'm only saying that now, and I'm changing that now because of seeing the SEC come out and say, yeah, we're scared of people online and what they can do to our social media accounts. Like,
how you crying on social media? Like Tyler, the Creator, said, how you get bullied on social media? Just close your computer. Like, I mean, I don't understand. If you can't take the heat, stay off the social media kitchen.
Hey, I know one thing. Saying, you throw a stone in the crowd, whoever yelled got hit. So that is the SEC right now. Stones were thrown on social media. Somebody one of our crypto warriors made a great point. How do they know is even the XRP Army on social media? That's pretty hard to prove in court. Exactly. So like I said, stone got thrown, whoever holla got hit. Apparently we know who got hit. Yes, Mr. G, and for everyone, now we got everyone on live. We did cancel yesterday's Talk Shop Live. We're either going to refund you all later today, or we're just going to roll that over to next week. But you will see something from that today. So again, pardon us on that. Real talk. Thanks for the tip. Any opinion on Quant's claim of universal interoperability capability? Thank you. I haven't even seen the claim yet.
Well, a lot of coins claim a lot of things, and a lot of projects have said things, but we would have to look that up. Maybe talk more about it on Talk Shop Live. Because again, I have heard of it, but interoperability, has been touted by a bunch of projects. I mean, we've seen that for a bunch of people, so I would have to check it out more.
Was it like the Internet of Things type of deal?
Let's see. Hyperledger has an article on it. Head of innovation at Quant, Luke Riley, talks about it.
Yeah, that's we'll definitely have to take a look at it. But what I like Bitcoin, as they said, for anybody that's giving you these buzzwords and interoperability, and we're gonna do this, just look up IOTA in 2017, okay?
They're about to make the whole world interoperable. We got your toasters mining crypto by 2020.
We ate the cheese too. Don't worry. We ate the cheese. Buy more Bitcoin. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Carmelo said Cash App allows limit orders now. I put some at 23, 22, 21. Hopefully they have the liquidity to fill my orders when that wick shoots down for that half second. Oh, wow. I did not know Cash App allowed limit orders. That's pretty cool. And I literally just covered them the other day. As we always say, people, that's how quick things are changing in this space. Literally, as soon as you get done reviewing it and press and confirm on the video, they're like, oh, we just got XYZ. And then you release and people are like, why you ain't cover XYZ? It was like, they just released it. I tell you what, though, we have 242 people in here. We have 83 likes. We need to get that like tax paid and up and running. Or we could just, I guess, I don't know. What can we talk about? We can muse about things today.
I'm about to rickroll somebody in a second. Stop lurking and start liking.
Rick Road. Let's see. Digit. I guess we'll just read some comments till we get that like text paid. Digit Hustle News says Cleaver Exchange launches June 30th. All right. Let's see. Khalifa, are we doing live next week for the holiday? I'm glad you brought that up, Khalifa. We will more than likely do the refunds today. I'm not sure we're going to do a live next week for the holiday. I'm glad you brought that up. Next week is July 4th weekend. We'll probably know that for sure, but toward the end of this week. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. There we go. Kadeem said, I was lurking. Can't even lie. There we go. Smash that like for us. Pay that tax so we can keep this show rolling. Oh, thank you, everybody. That quick. We just went from 86 likes to 133 likes. Look, it's not hard to press a thumb. I understand if you're watching, you driving. Wait till you hit that red light. You ain't supposed to be watching this while you drive anyway. Click that like on the red light. All right. It looks like the debate is finally being settled on VV. Marvel reveals official NFTs will be available on VV Marketplace by 2022. For those who don't know, VV is a marketplace on your cell phone. Some people are saying it's just collectibles. Others are calling it NFTs. There has been this low-key debate about which is which, but if Marvel is coming out calling them official NFTs, I guess that the debate may be gone. But again, some of the more well-known characters from Marvel include Wolverine, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America. And of course, they'll be coming, as the story says, by 2022.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and in the Thursday announcement, they said they partnered with Orbis blockchain technologies to release these NFTs, and they're going to be digital collectibles and comic books, which, as I've seen from before, you can actually, as a fan, when you buy it, direct the story which way you want it to go. So that really will be a personal NFT that nobody else has. They'll be minted on the blockchain, and you'll be able to buy and sell to others. And they have the secondary marketplace. The in-app token that they're using is called Gems. But they do accept credit card payments, and they offer digital collectibles from DC Comics, Star Trek, and other franchises. But they do have the favorites: Wolverine, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America, of course. So NFT market, to me, has cooled down a lot. However, these big industries that have a lot of money and a lot of branding, a lot of commercials, they can actually still sell NFTs. The lesser known people, not as much. But again, they're not going away, and these platforms are just now being built.
Yeah, and again, I know a lot of people who have been on the VV NFTs that have made some impressive returns. For those who don't know, usually they launch on Thursdays, 8 a.m. I always miss it because after the show, I end up running around and forgetting to actually do it. But they start off selling from anywhere from like $18 to $90. And literally the same day after you buy it, a lot of them, especially like the rare and the super rare ones, they can be turned around for like $600 the same day you buy it for $18 to $90. You can resell it that same day from anywhere from $400 to $600, $400 to $800. So I know a lot of people are going in there buying, three $20 ones, four $40 ones, or whatever, and just making quick flips. On the flip side, there are people who are also buying them for that price or rebuying them that same day at the $500 to $800 price points, and they're holding them with hopes to resell them for $1,000. Some of which have already happened. Some of which people are still holding, like some good ones. I've already, the Ghostbusters ones people are hanging on to. And yes, if VV becomes one of the premier marketplaces, if this continues, and you could see some of the ones that people bought already for $600 go for $3,000 or $4,000 sometime later this year, if not upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 the next year or two as the marketplace continues to get bigger. So we'll make sure we keep an eye out there to see how that matures. Yeah, Majestic, perfect. Majestic said they sell out in 5 minutes. Exactly. That's the problem right there is, like I said, I always forget to log on Thursday. If I log on at 8:03, I can't even log on. It's just spinning. Now, they have been working on that to get better because they have been going through some scaling issues. As people said, you need to be logged on at like 7 o'clock, essentially waiting for the thing to drop to click buy. It's happening that fast. And again, it's usually happening at 8 a.m. on Thursdays. I rarely have time to do it, which sucks because I've been wanting to get into it. But you have to be in it, like I said, at 7 o'clock. Usually we're on the show at that time. Yeah, Majestic says seconds.
Yeah, this is a new waiting in line for Jordans.
It really is.
Yeah, early boy.
It is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, they about it last week. Okay, they did it last week. Cool. Alex said, Peep the Game said, I tried to use a Bitcoin ATM in LA, but only had the option to buy. The clerk said all ATMs are controlled by one company and it changes from buy to sell. So that's not true. There's two to three main companies in LA that control the majority, but it's still at least 2 to 3 main ones. And even then there's like people who have onesies and twosies. So that's I think, was it Coincheck or something's the main one? One of the main ones out here, Coin something?
Bit Access owns a lot, and then CoinSource. What's the other one? Lamasu has a few. The new models. I just saw the new model, the Lamasu, right here downtown. And then the last one, CoinFlip. CoinFlip has the most out here, but I know one of the guys who operates a lot of them. He's in Orange County. Yeah, it's definitely more than one person that operates them. Maybe in their area, because it is easy to operate in one area, but he's in Orange County. Like, whoever's here, they don't have theirs in Orange County. I can tell you that right now.
And then also, as far as the buy, yes, some are buy only. So you do have to find the ones that are buy and sell. Now, Airbits used to have the what was it? Airbits used to have the map where you can find ATMs and know which one's buy or sell. Google searches kind of help, but in LA, sometimes not always, because you will go to the store and it says buy and sell and it's buy only. I'm trying to look at a wallet right now to see if there are any. There used to be some wallets that would have like local ATMs. But try to Google it next time you go. But yeah, unfortunately, majority are buy only, but there are a ton in LA that are buy and sell. I mean, Bitcoin's, they would tell you there's a ton in LA that are buy. So he's been around to a bunch of ATMs.
Yeah, and I mean, Coin ATM Radar should help you out. Look at the map. Yeah, just look at the map. And this is also in the masterclass too, Bitcoin ATM stuff. So just look at the map, and they'll show you all of the locations where you can buy and sell in your city. So just put in your address and you'll be all good.
Yeah, Loki, I think, is one that buys and sells. That's on like La Cienega, and it's like a liquor store, gas station on La Cienega and Olympic or Pico, I want to say. So if you go in that little area,
on La Cienega and Wilshire.
Yep, you know what I'm talking right there. Yeah,
Beverly Hills Wine and Liquor. Yeah, that's the manager. Yeah, I used to talk to him all the time and go use it. That one's buy and sell, but again, I haven't been there since I've been back, so it may not still be there because of COVID.
Boom. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. We know. Yeah, look, we know it's what you want to go to.
Oh yeah, okay. I know where you need to go.
Yeah, there you go. Machiavellian Prince. Where's the cryptocurrency lobbying group? That's how oil corporations got their start. I actually mentioned that on the show before, that one of our warriors need to stand up and need to get that going. So I feel like we should have like a crypto warrior lobbying group starting from here. How amazing would that be? We started a super PAC and lobbying group, grassroots coming from here all the way to DC, or we can fund it with Bitcoin. We can look at the accounts, we can look at the wallet online. We know the person spend the money on the right things or the wrong things, and we could actually lobby. So, hey, get it started in the chat box and we can start here and we'll definitely support. But to seriously answer, I think the only lobbying support groups are coming from the likes of Coinbase. I know Coinbase does have a lobbying group essentially, but I'm assuming they're lobbying for exchanges, like they're lobbying for centralized exchanges. We're kind of already seeing that, but yes, it is already happening. All right, let's see. French court sentences BTC operator Alexander Vinnik to 5 years. And you know what? I'm thinking about it. I didn't cover Vinnik, but I did cover in the history of money and everything. I did cover what was going on with BTCE. So that's in the master class. But essentially, if you missed it, conspiracy theory, but I think it's all connected. Mt. Gox gets hacked in 2014 for 744,000 Bitcoins that go missing. It comes out later that BTC operator Alexander Vinnik may have had something to do with some of that money getting laundered from Mt. Gox to BTCE. Oh, by the way, around the same time Mt. Gox got hacked, the United States started fighting a proxy war with Russia and Syria. And the whole thing about Mt. Gox being hacked and some of that laundered money going to BTCE was that Alexander Vinnik was a Russian citizen, Russian national, and there was a lot of other organized and sophisticated groups and organizations in Russia that may had something to do with his money laundering, which is why I say we fought that proxy war with Russia after Mt. Gox got hacked in 2014 in Syria. That's a whole nother theory. But after all of that, 2017, Alexander Vinnik gets picked up by Greek authorities for the United States. They keep him in prison there unlawfully. Russia says we want him back. The United States says we want him. Greece keeps him there. Alexander Vinnik goes on a food strike for some years or some months at least. They transfer him from the Greek prisons all the way over to the French prison where he has been residing at for the last couple of years or year now. And it looks like he is finally sentenced. This has been an ongoing saga, as you can tell, for 7 years now, starting with the Mt. Gox hack, all the way now to him actually getting this sentence. What's going on in this prison sentence for Alexander Vinnik?
Oh yeah. So the fact that he only got 5 years.
Something's a foul.
He was charged with laundering $4 billion.
$4 billion, 5 years.
5 years.
It is not a conspiracy theory, people. I know what I'm talking about.
This is the movie shit that we're talking about that happens, where it happens right in front of you, and you think, oh yeah, this guy got caught. You know, he had a 100,000 euro fine for a $4 billion laundering operation. Come on, dude. They were basically, this is a slap on the hand. They probably told his handlers in Russia, because I'm sure he's got some bigger people behind him. It probably was like, hey man, we're gonna say we're giving him 5 years. He'll be out in 2 with good behavior, and while he's there, he'll be treated like a king. We got to do something though. We got to make it seem like we're enforcing the rules somehow. But again, he was cleared of defrauding over 200 people using ransomware. And then of course he was extradited to France, like he said, sentenced to 5 years in prison in December. And they may want to return him to Greece. And that was what they was talking about in January 2020. The thing is, like I said, this obviously has more to do with, I think, the geopolitical sphere. There's something going on where the laundering of this money somehow maybe ended up in Russia, coming from the US, or vice versa. And we're just seeing the front portion of it. There's something they're not telling us, again, because 5 years is pretty light for laundering $4 billion. There's people getting double digits for like 10 million, 20 million. So
there's people getting double digits for PPP loans.
Yeah, for PPP loans, $12,000, and somebody doing 12 years. It's like, damn, what is going on with this with Vinnik? But I believe he represents a higher class of people that have a lot to lose if he's thrown in jail or if he starts speaking. I think they may be scared of that too.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make it through this 5 years or whatever. And I wonder if they're giving him time, or I wonder if they're giving him credit for time served. Because if that's the case, since 2017, I mean, technically he can see himself free in the next month or two, which would be crazy if that happened. But I'm with you on that. Again, the United States wanted him arrested, so Greece did it for the United States because they said he was laundering up to $4 billion from Mt. Gox. Again, people, not a conspiracy theory. I'm telling you, when Mt. Gox fell, I wasn't even in the crypto space like that. That was in 2014 when I started looking at crypto, but I tell you where I was, off the shores of Syria, where we were bombing the hell out of them. And I was hearing we were fighting Russians on the ground as a proxy war. I am telling you, this all happened after Mt. Gox went down. And then years later, it comes to find out you have this Russian citizen with all this Russian backing that may have laundered money and is pissing. Oh, I forgot one other thing happened the day Alexander Vinnik was arrested. How can we forget? The day Alexander Vinnik was arrested, I didn't even put this in a masterclass, I forgot. The day Alexander Vinnik was arrested in 2017 was the same day we actually sanctioned Russia. We sanctioned Russia the day of or the day after we arrested him. President Donald Trump sanctioned Russia. Go look at it in 2017. Actually, while we're talking, I'm going to try to bring it up. The day we sanctioned Russia in 2017 was actually the day after the day before Alexander Vinnik was arrested. And that's when I was like, all right, this ain't no conspiracy theory. We're sanctioning the whole country after we've been fighting this proxy war with them. And we're saying this guy has laundered some money from Mt. Gox. I am trying to tell y'all, not a conspiracy. While I'm looking that up, because I do want to see what date we sanction them. What's going on over here in Mexico with billionaire Salinas?
Oh, yeah. So Ricardo Salinas, who we have discussed before, famously known as the guy who said he put 10% of his wealth into Bitcoin. Ricardo Salinas Pliego wants his bank to be the first in Mexico to accept Bitcoin. Again, he's the third richest man in Mexico. He tweeted his support for the widespread adoption, and he's actually, at this point, giving a massive endorsement for Bitcoin, who stated that it was absolutely right to think of Bitcoin as the new gold. So you're talking about the third richest man, and he suggests that fiat currencies are a fraud, and he wants to hold Bitcoin for the next 30 years. Again, long-term thinking, and incredible to see this from him, given his historic health and success. Shout out to Pomp. Michael Saylor even chimed in, and then he even responded. He said, I recommend the use of Bitcoin, and me and my banks are working to be the first to accept Bitcoin. So shout out to Ricardo.
Hey, here we go.
Man. Yeah, my bad. And again, people don't understand. It's slow at first and all at once. You think the other billionaires in Mexico are not looking at him like, hold up, what does he know that we don't? And they're going to explore, at the very least, they'll explore it. And if his bank is allowed to sell Bitcoin, I'm sure, he'll make a lot of money off of it. Not exactly what Bitcoin is made for, but again, as a business, it's not bad to be able to provide Bitcoin to your banking customers. So Ricardo Salinas Pliego, remember that name, third richest man in Mexico, may have sparked more billionaires and more banks in the country to get these loans. So South America I mean, people should watch out because they're starting to wake up even faster than everybody else with the news of El Salvador and Paraguay. And then now we have a third richest man in Mexico trying to put Bitcoin in the bank. So all happening very fast now.
And with all that being said, do you think other banks will start to look to do the same in other countries?
No, yeah, absolutely. Simply because it's money. Banks are greedy. They go where the money is. If they can make as much money as Coinbase or one of these other companies off fees, they will do it. And then if they can self-custody your Bitcoin, not only do they control it, because they'll control the keys, they can control what rates that they give you as far as staking, or if you keep it as a savings account. All of that is under their control. So they're greedy, so I'm sure they will do the same at some point. They're just looking for the right way to do it to control the on-ramps.
All right. Before we go, I have to show this article again. Hey, you know what? I might be going crazy. It might be a conspiracy theory, but it looks like we calling Binance. It looks like we made many other calls before this. I mean, hey, you all go through the history of our shows. How many things have we called? Hell, we called the 2016 presidential election for those who know what's up with us. So yeah, we made some great calls. With all these great calls, I just got to show this. I got to show my due diligence and where it's gotten me. Again, conspiracy theory, maybe, but I think these dates are a little bit too close for comfort. But hey, I don't know. We'll see. Look at this. February 25th, 2014, Mt. Gox shuts down in 2014. 744,000 Bitcoins go missing. And this whole thing, Russia might be involved. Who knows might be involved. All these people might be involved, right? February 25th, 2014. October of that year, actually before that, but for sure by October is when we finally called the official Operation Inherent Resolve. That's when we sent forces off the coast of Syria, started doing bombings there all year for about 2 to 3 years straight. And during that time, again, a proxy war is being fought on Syria, for those who are in the know, between the United States and Russian operatives, or advisors, as they like to call them, from different organizations of both of our countries. They were doing all that in Syria, which is why Syrians and Turkish people have been pissed off at Russians and the United States and picking sides since this has been going on. Oh, and by the way, in 2017, what did I tell you? July 25th, 2017, Russia sanctions what you need to know. That's when President Donald Trump sanctioned Russia on July 25th, 2017. And literally the next day, Wednesday, July 26th, defendant Alexander Vinnik was arrested in Greece to face charges in the United States. Bitcoin exchange alleged to have received deposits valued at over $4 billion. And this is coming from the Mt. Gox hack back in 2014, before we actually even went over to Syria, where this proxy war is being fought between Russia and the United States. Hey, listen, I'm in good health and I don't feel like committing suicide, never. All right, just know that. I mean, listen, it's that easy, people, if you don't see it. It's like a lot going on behind the scenes. But the point behind it is that Bitcoin definitely has a place behind the scenes. That's my entire thing with all this stuff. When you follow the money, at the end of the day, people are following Bitcoin, right? So whether the United States or Russia wants to openly accept it or like it or not, the bottom line is that Bitcoin is real, and follow the money. It's like Bitcoin, as they said, all of that just happened. We just illustrate this whole story from you, where the United States and Russia wanted one of their citizens who owned an exchange back, and he just got 5 years in prison.
Come on.
Exactly. I mean, come on.
What more do you want, people? We literally give you the answers nobody else has. I've never seen any other channel discuss it like this ever. No. So the information you're getting, you got to understand there's a lot of things interconnected with Bitcoin and the currency wars that are coming. It's not just teenagers online with goofy dog pictures. This is actually real. And when people realize that, they'll understand why things are progressing the way they are.
Right. So we'll end it on that for you all to do your own due diligence. Hey, maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's a big, giant conspiracy theory, and it just so happens President Trump sanctioned Russia, and the next day we had one of their chess pieces. Now, you really think about that. Like, when you're talking about the war and chess, it's like, oh, I'm gonna sanction you. It's like, what? Like, you crazy. You can't do nothing to us. And then the next day, he's like, oh, you know, we got your boy, right? Like, yeah, we sanctioning you like we said yesterday. We got your boy.
Sanctions. Yeah. And then you thought she was going to skirt the sanctions with Bitcoin. Well, you can't now because you don't have Vinnik. So.
Right. Exactly. All right. But seriously, we're going to keep paying attention to the story, because this story is not over by far. Again, he just received his sentencing. Now, I mean, hey, like I said, I want to see if he gets out early. Does he do the whole 5 years? Does he live to do the whole 5 years? And last but not least, if he does get out, what happens next? Like, if he gets out, hey, listen, I will fly to Russia with my phone out. Like, please, just give me 5 minutes. I just want a quick interview. Give me a quick interview. Other than that, that is the show for today. Do you have any announcements?
No announcements today. Just make sure you look out for the masterclass coming this week.
All right. Other than that, like we said, for the Talk Shop Live, we'll make sure to get that back to you all today. So be on the lookout. And as always, thanks for watching. Smash that like and